What's up, guys? We're here at AMC Town Square with Chasing Cinema.
.com, James Shu.
.com, and we got 3 movies. We got this one's about we have War Dogs already live. We got Kubo and the Two Strings already live. But this movie, as you know, is about the remake Ben-Hur.
Ben-Hur, a movie that's been remade multiple times in history, but most famously known for the one starring Charlton Heston, telling the biblical story of Judah Ben-Hur and his rise against his brother. You know, this is a very, very important movie in cinema. Like, if you take a cinema class, chances are you're going to watch Ben-Hur. If you look at some of the greatest epics, you know, like the really big stories, Ben-Hur is on there. The chariot race scene is considered one of the most epic, you know, movie sequences of all time. But, you know, that movie, that is a controversial thing, because back in the day when we actually had the older silent version, they used a trap that would actually break the horse's legs and they'd actually really get hurt. That was before.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that was before we actually had, like, we had laws against hurting animals and stuff. So that's obviously the much silent version. 1957 wasn't.
So they would break the horses' legs.
They would break their legs. I forget the name of the actual machine or the contraption. But yeah, I believe it would pull their legs out from under them as they would crash and stuff. Yeah. Not a lot of people know that, and I know it's kind of like a depressing thing. I don't want to like down you guys, but yeah, that happened way back when in silent film. A lot of people would do a lot of you know, effects were pretty crazy. I mean, there was, you know, sequences when people would get stabbed, they'd really stab themselves and let themselves bleed out.
Why didn't they just do post-production?
Yeah. Why don't they use those computers? What were they thinking?
Cheap horse.
But anyway, yeah, so now, it was 6 years ago, we had a TV miniseries adaptation of Ben-Hur. It's been made into a cartoon, and now we get another with Jack Houston.
Morgan Freeman,
who's probably the bigger name in this movie, who looks like his character from the Lego Movie. But honestly, going into this movie, I'm a movie lover, so I love Ben-Hur. But you know, it's just kind of it's one of those situations where, like, I don't know if I need another Ben-Hur, and I don't know if it's going to appeal to the masses. What about you? Like, is that something you're in? Like, would you go see Ben-Hur, or?
Well, actually, since never seen the originals, and never will, and we'll never watch this one.
Really? No, yeah, no interest.
No interest. I'm sure it's one of the greatest films of all time. Just literally no interest.
Well, 1957, I know.
Literally
pushing it
no
for
interest.
But I mean, I'm hoping this one is good. You know, I feel like it doesn't have much of a presence. I don't think it did very well marketing wise. And I think
it's doing horrible marketing wise.
I agree. But I'm hoping this movie surprises me, and it's another great. I mean, every edition of this movie has been great.
Is this 3 hours?
No, this is it has a bunch of times, but it's actually only 2 hours and 5 minutes.
The original was 3, wasn't it?
They're much longer. Yeah. There's much longer versions, and Ben-Hur is tied with the most 11 Academy Awards.
With Titanic, my favorite movie of all time.
So we'll see. Maybe this one will join that ranks.
Well, you ready to go in?
Yeah.
Let's see if this movie will make you Ben-Hurt.
That's good.
All right. So did this movie hurt?
It hurt very badly.
Oh, dang.
This movie, never mind. I was gonna make a joke about the horses, but you know.
Oh yeah, no. I actually don't like that at all.
Yeah, I know, it's very sad. But again,
really
that was
sad.
You know, nearly 100 years ago now. But this movie was honestly a big just mess. I think that this movie wanted to be somewhat of a Hollywood blockbuster that would appeal to everyone because the chariot scene, you know, everyone wants to go see that crazy chariot scene, which I'm assuming most general audiences don't know about or care about, because I don't think it's going to do very well. However, Hollywood was smart here. They were like, but just in case, let's kind of make this, you know, like one of those modern Christian, like religious films. Now, Ben-Hur is a biblical story. Judah Ben-Hur does encounter Jesus in Jerusalem. Like, that is, it's always been that way. And even in the 1957 version, we have like a decent amount of Jesus in the movie. But this movie felt like they were like, you know, like it was like, I was surprised when I walked and I wasn't handed a Bible. Like, I mean, and I don't mean that in an insulting way, but it just felt very like you know, oh, this is the way to be.
That's funny.
And here's like, and I'm not going to spoil the movie, but the ending was something that just really bothered me. So you have a movie set in biblical times, and you know,
they busted out an iPhone.
No, but they busted out like to close the movie. Like, it's not credits, like pre-credits, like going into credits. As the movie like fades to white and all happy and chippery, we get like a modern contemporary pop song. And it's like, what is happening? Like, I don't know what song it was, but you know, like the fight song, the song. It's like one of those. Like, it's a girl like pop song, and it's like contemporary. It's like feel good. It's like something you would see in the trailers of the modern like Christian movies, like Miracles of Heaven and stuff. I'm just like, wait, what? Like, this movie is set, like in biblical times, and like, why is this, like, the fact that they even put that there really bothered me. But this movie honestly has 2 really good sequences, and actually one really good sequence, and it's not the chariot race. I actually don't think they brought much of anything new to the chariot races. You have all this great CGI technology. You've had, over 50 years to really, well, not over, but nearly 50 years to kind of recreate this and make it even more amazing with the technology we have, and they don't. It's actually really uninteresting, and it feels like you're like, all right, like, even I've seen Ben-Hur, but I watch the original Ben-Hur and I get nervous for our main character. I get nervous for Judah. In this movie, I'm like, this is going to be, it's like a walk in the park. Guys are just falling over. I mean, it's just too easy. Everything feels too easy, and the characters don't have like this chemistry. There's some characters that are confusing. It just feels really stuffed and filled and unnecessary, and I could not find things I really like about it. Morgan Freeman, his dialogue is really hokey, and there's just not much to enjoy here. And even if you put the regular Ben-Hur aside, I just found so much unexciting things happening. There's one good scene when Ben-Hur is captured and held as a slave, and he's like rowing the bottom of the boat. It's not a gallow, it's a gala or galleys or whatever when you're down there. And there's like this really cool action piece down there. But other than that rest of the 2 hours is just like, that's how I felt. And that's a bummer, because this is literally one of the greatest cinematic stories of all time, and it just wasn't with TLC. They didn't do it TLC. I feel like it was just an idea of like, we're going to try to make money. We're going to try to appeal to mass audiences. If we don't, we definitely could get the bus loads of the religious groups to come in and enjoy this movie, which is fine. But I mean, and I was thinking, I was like, I don't remember Ben-Hur feeling that. Like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like praise, like that praising. But there is a lot of Jesus in the older version, but this one just kind of like shoves it down your throat. And to me, it just kind of totally loses sight of Ben-Hur. Like, Ben-Hur feels like a secondary person to Jesus. And that's obviously not how the story works, but.
Hey, that's fair. So if you want to see this movie, do that. If you want to get hurt, do that.
If that's your thing, go ahead and enjoy it and eat it all up.
But if you do watch this, I would love to see if you like it. Leave that in the comments below. But if you want to see movies that we did like this week, there was definitely Kubo and the Two Strings, and there was definitely War Dogs, which both of those are Chasing Cinema verified.
Yes, right there. Click those white eyes. Definitely one of the strongest weeks we've had all summer. To have not one but 2 solid flicks. Like,
love it.
Really, like one that I can. You have to see which one, but I can even claim that one of those is my favorite movie of the year so far.
I'm gonna see Kubo in about 15 hours.
You better be excited, man, because you're in for a real treat.
Hey, Dolby, AMC,
when are you
gonna
go see Ben-Hur?
Won't be doing that. Even if you gave this a
like
4
out
out
of 4, you wouldn't go see it.
I still wouldn't go
because the time it's in, or because
And I don't like I'm sure I'll offend people here. Gladiator with
Russell Crowe.
Yeah, haven't even seen that. Just 'cause
Wow.
I don't like that time.
To be honest, you want to know the truth? Is like Gladiator is a very well praised movie. I don't think it's that great.
The only movie I actually ever liked that's in this time is Troy.
Troy.
That's it.
People really like that movie. I wasn't a fan of Troy either. But
Yeah, I like Troy a lot.
I could see like that being, not people just not being into that time, and I mean, yeah, you're not
like
missing,
Cleopatra.
You're not missing out.
With Jolie.
Yeah.
Or in Jolie, right? And Colin Farrell.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. Cleopatra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, is that Cleopatra?
But the one that has Jolie and Colin Farrell.
Alexander.
Yeah.
The great.
I think so.
Yeah,
Didn't like that one. I don't really like any of those.
Yeah.
But anyway,
they're on horses and wearing sandals. Shoe ain't about it.
Ain't about it. Homie. Ain't about it. All right. In 7 days we got big movies. Mechanic, Jason Statham, Jessica Alba premiere.
Big movie.
We got another big movie with Don't Breathe, which looks horrifying. I love it.
Yes.
And then we have
Hands of Stone, the new film starring Robert De Niro about boxing and about taking on the mafia in the boxing world.
Love it.
I hope to God it's better than Dirty Grandpa, because Robert De Niro is in a bad place in my book right now. He's got a lot to do to make
He gets
up
the
for
most important thing, and this the only thing he cares about. The paycheck. That's it. Do this movie for $5 million.
Yeah, maybe.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Hopefully. He better. $5 million is an insult.
Or
If
10
he
million.
accepted that
I don't know.
for Dirty Grandpa. I would not have made that movie less than like $20 million. That's not true. If someone offered me $5 million, I'd have been, the movie's awful. Anyway.
Moving on, move forward. 7 days later, we'll be back. ChasingCinema.com is known as
Film Lovers website.